Hello everyone, my name is Ed Hammerly and this is my chicken coop here in New Jersey. I decided to make you this video so if you were pondering the idea of getting chickens, or if you already have decided to do so but wanted some ideas as to how to build a chicken coop, you could get a few tips here. So let's start off with as to why you might want to do it. For starters, the eggs themselves are far better tasting than any egg that you're going to get in the store. The chickens are taken care of better here. You may have watched some videos on television where in some commercial situations where they're breeding massive amounts of chickens, that the chickens are in cages, they're defecating on each other, stacked on top of one another, unable to move. They're also given antibiotics or hormones and stuff like that. So here, there's nothing of the such. We only feed them organic matter. They eat bugs and worms and so forth. So the food that you're eating, it was from an animal that was taken care of far better than say at a commercial place. The other nice feature, as I mentioned, we give them our scraps. Well, what happens is during the course of a day, it could be a broccoli end or anything that you're not typically going to eat, as opposed to throwing them in the garbage. We're giving them to the chickens, they're eating organic food, and in turn that food is going into the eggs. So it's a nice way of not wasting or not creating garbage, but yet providing food that the chickens can then provide to us. All right, so let's take a look inside the coop and you'll get an idea as to what we've done.
All right, let's take a quick look around and then I'll get into specifics later. Here are the roosting bars, the automatic door, timer and light, the nesting area, our feeder, and then lastly, our water feeder with heater. Oops, and I almost forgot our ceiling, our radiant reflective barrier. This will keep the chicken body heat and hot water heater heat inside the coop in the wintertime and reflect away the heat from the sun on the rooftop in the summer. Pretty basic. We installed some roosting bars. Chickens typically like to get off the ground. They feel safer from predators. So they'll all snuggle up together on these 2x3s here. Every coop should have one. A light switch and a bulb. Again, pretty self-explanatory. Makes life a lot easier. Here are the nesting boxes. A little straw and you're ready to go. This coop is basically capable of handling about 10 to 15 to 20 chickens. This is our indoor homemade PVC chicken feeder. What's nice about this is it holds a lot of food, which will last several weeks. And it's nice for those days when it's rainy or snowy or what have you, when the chickens don't typically go outside, but yet they can get some food. Another nice feature is our thermostat controlled heated water system. The metal plate below will maintain a temperature just above freezing so that the chickens will always have water to drink, even on the coldest days. And as I mentioned before, one additional perk is that the heater will throw off some additional heat into the coop. You'll also notice the placement of an outlet for this purpose. And lastly, I provided plywood and some chicken wire to prevent the chickens from defecating into the water supply. Another thing to think about is coop placement. You'll see here that we can access inside the coop as well as get the eggs without ever going in the penned-in area. This makes life extremely convenient and also keeps your feet clean. And here is the best feature of the entire coop, both for convenience and security. No urban or suburban chicken coop owner should be without one. Predators are most active between dusk and dawn. Chickens will instinctively seek shelter or higher ground as dusk approaches. If we can secure their entry point once they are inside, their chances of survival are extremely high. And this convenience continues when morning arises and you don't have to go outside and open a door. So that's the coop. Now let's talk about the pen.
All right, spend the time to secure the corners like this. I put some extra wire and so forth. This way, a fox is going to try to sneak around the corner, get in between the building and the fence. As far as the fence itself, you can dig well underneath the ground to make a fortified fenced-in area. However, we just took rebar and ran it between the fencing the whole way along so that you can't just pick up one side. It's also staked down. You'll see right in there, it's staked down so it can't go anywhere. And then I've just thrown some rocks on top. So the foxes have not been able to deal with the rocks and the rebar here, so it's worked for us.
And again, to reiterate my opinion, we've had this situation, this setup for about 2 years, have had weekly encounters with foxes, and have never had them get inside in that manner. A major daytime predator problem we have had are red-tailed hawks. Here in New Jersey, netting the roof is a necessity. Make sure you have an eye hook on your nesting box door as well. Don't underestimate the tenacity of raccoons and other predators. And you may have noticed this solar-powered blinking red dot. It's hard to quantify if these things actually work, but they claim to mimic the eye reflection of predators, scaring animals away. And speaking of things that run on solar, this entire coop does as well. We just do the solar production on our home.